Hi everybody, so I'll talk about section 19 today. I missed section 18 and 17, but I'll record them later. So it was a session in the Holland, in the Netherlands. It was with Florine Gabriel, and it's an amazing session. It was a group filled with people who are already activated. So people who had already done a lot of KAP. So the energy in the room was really, really tangible. Like you could feel every person had like this active energy, and so whenever you hugged or whenever you talked with somebody, you felt that there was like an immediate connection. So it started off very strong after a great introduction from the facilitator. In the beginning, I just did a lot of mudras, just holding my hands, singing songs. There was not a lot of happening. Like lately, I've just been in this space of observing my experience. There was this clarity that never goes away, and it's like I'm clearly seeing that this is the experience happening. I'm clearly seeing that this is happening, but I'm always super aware that I am not that experience, that I am the witness of that experience. So because of that, after each event that happens in the session, there's a space in which I can ask questions. So I asked to give me what I needed in a way that's needed, and I felt this huge influx of energy in my forehead. It was like a light bulb which exploded, and then a huge stream of energy from my spine going up into my brain, and I felt like a rewiring, like there was energy going into there was pressure, and it was like going to that neuron, to that neuron, to that neuron, and I felt like there was things changing, like you know, when you have those old phones where when somebody calls, they pick a wire from here and they put it here to connect. It was like that. It felt like that. So that went on for quite a while, like 10-20 minutes. It was quite intense. Then there was a period where everybody was making sounds, and I also was making a lot of sounds like om, ah, but I felt the inhibition that I had worked out was back again. So whenever my sound was going to a certain amount of level, there was a sense of wanting to control it, wanting to censor it, not being too loud. And it was very I was very disappointed to feel that, because it was back. I thought once you realize it, it goes away, but it came back. So yeah, the sound was just at a certain level, and then the facilitator came to me, and she did like some movements. She did like this, and all of a sudden it was free, and the sound came out, and I shouted and made these huge sounds, and like wolf sound, tiger sounds, all kinds of sounds, and it was releasing, it was freeing, it was original. It came from a depth. It was not my doing. So yeah, that was great. At some point I also did a bridge where you stand on your hands and your feet, and your heart center is like totally open. I also did a handstand with my eyes closed, like you feel the energy that goes through your spine so neatly. And then the symbol came of yin yang. I asked, what do I need? And a symbol appeared of yin yang, and I asked to integrate my shadow. So I saw like this, my body was split, and I saw white side and black side, and they were like pushing each other. White winning, black winning, white winning, black winning, white, black, and they were trying to consume each other, to change each other, to make each other not be who they are. And then all of a sudden there was the realization that they were one and the same, but they were different sides of each other, but they were the same thing. And when that realization came, there was a sense of completeness, of like, oh, it belongs. It just needs to be integrated, but it's okay to have that. So then I felt all of a sudden a masculine energy in myself, like rise up. I felt this energy come up, and I felt this roar of a lion, this fire, this fire of manhood, and it awakened, and it made me realize that was truly out of balance, and now there was a yin yang, because my feminine side is very strong, and now my manly side is also like it was coming into balance. It felt pretty amazing to experience that, because it makes you feel like your experience is getting enriched, like you're experiencing more of life. And then I asked to yeah, all of a sudden I saw energy like covering the ground that we were lying on. It was filled with energy, and we were all connected through it, and it was like the floor was glowing with white energy. And then all of a sudden angels appeared next to me. I stood up, and I saw the figures, and I felt their hands take my hands like this, and we sang together, Elohim, Elohim. I felt their hands, and then I said, what do these people here need? And a voice said, they need balance. And then I asked, how can I give them balance? And then it was like I was making sounds to spread the vibration of balance to the people, through the people. But it was merely it was all happening by itself. It was just a spontaneous sharing of something that I discovered for myself. Then all of a sudden the facilitator came to me, and she touched me on a couple of points, and I felt like butter melting. Literally, it was like I had this image of a butter that was melting completely, and I fell to the ground, and I felt every inch of me was just melting in the ground and becoming not solid but liquid. It was like spacious, open, wide, clear. It was such an amazing feeling. It's like the most relaxed thing you can ever experience. It was it was crazy. Then there came a point where my mind came in, and all of a sudden there was a question of, what am I missing? And then I saw this warrior in the past. And this warrior, I saw him like beaten, like he had given up, like he had lost something. He had lost his pride. He had lost, because I realized the more that I looked at the image, it was from my past lives. It was a man who was not courageous. He chickened out. Not chickened out. What's the English word for chickened out? It's he what's the word when you're not courageous but you're a coward? Right? He was coward. Because he was coward, he lost his belief in himself that he could act. He lost his warriorship. He lost his spirit of the warrior. He gave up, and he just lost faith in himself. And then I saw that, and I sent love and forgiveness to him. And I felt him rise up, or being filled up with this energy of love and forgiveness. And I invited him to come back to me, to join me. And I felt his energy come into me, and I felt this huge courageous power, the ability to have courage, the ability to act harsh when it needs to. It felt like a lost soul part or something. It was so beautiful. Then I saw, all of a sudden I looked up, and I saw this big archangel, like a huge archangel, like with wings, but so huge. He was standing above us all, and he was just looking at us all, like overviewing what we're doing. I don't know what was happening there, but then the next image that came, I saw like this puzzle, and I saw like my mind, my body, my spirit, my consciousness, my thoughts, who I think I am, who I think I need to be, who I think I am because people tell me I am that. Like all these puzzles, they fit, and there was like this swirling until it fit, and then all of a sudden, it like it unlocks something, and I got this huge energy download, and it coursed through me, through my body, through my spine, and through my brain, and I realized nothing has meaning. Everything is meaningless. Nothing in the world has meaning. And it was a sense of, I exist. I exist as existence. But there's no one existing. There's no personality. There's no person. There's no one to do anything. There's no one to be anything. It was this huge realization that there are certain mechanics of the body, of the mind, of the emotions, and those mechanics have personalities, or let's say masks, or personas that are played out, but it is not an entity. It is not a somebody. It is just patterns of behavior, patterns of conduct that were learned and modeled, and then repeated, and then given meaning to. And it was so crazy to see that, because you feel like, oh, everything is meaningless. The meaning in everything is projected through your brain onto things. Your brain projects meaning to everything it sees. But my beingness, who I am, has no meaning. And then there was a different part. All of a sudden, I saw myself, I saw my body, and I saw like a Russian doll. It was like shedding layers. More and more layers fell off, until only a soul was there. And I saw this soul, this core of the soul, and it went even deeper, until I saw that at the core there was this infinite, minuscule, an energetic, how would you say, indivisible, uncuttable essence. And I realized it's non-existent. Like the essence is not what is. The essence is what is not manifesting into what is. It's weird to say, but it's like from nothing comes something. From something comes nothing. Because nothing is nothingness. There's nothing that does anything. There's just nothingness manifesting somethingness, and that somethingness is then let's say available for a certain amount of time, for a certain period, but then it becomes unavailable again. But nothing is lost, right? Because there was nothing ever gained, because it's not the essence. But then there was this thing of like, when I saw the soul, I saw soul families, and I saw that there was a connection with certain people, that they were all like families of each other, that they were close to each other. The souls, they had this big connection. Yeah, and then I asked, what is my soul's mission? And a voice said, it's to make to spark the light of people's heart, to make that spark, to let their fire burn, to just ignite the fire of consciousness in them. The session was then over. There was some other thing, like there was one moment where I saw like my personal will was still hanging in in my root chakra, and I felt it being dragged out, and I felt losing my will. And my will is like it's like the last thing that's keeping control, because it wants to survive. And I realized that that is what is obstructing the free flow expression of beingness. And then after the session, there was a reaction to the room. There was some kind of disappointment. There was some kind of uneasiness. And one of the, not a facilitator, but one of the people there that just walked by, touched me on some chakras, and I felt like energy moved. And there was a voice that said, just release the story about it. Let the energy fade away. And I felt it fade away, and I felt lighter, I felt better. And then after that, we had a bite, we had some tea to drink, we all talked a little bit, we all hugged each other a little bit, and we shared our experiences. It was great. Like, you could feel people are really sincerely wanting to live. People have a sincere wish to express their lives. They have a sincere wish to embody their lives, because at a certain age or at a certain point when things don't work out, you realize that you're not really living. And you realize time is going by, but you're not living. Why? Because you're holding on to things which are dead. You're holding on to ideas. You're holding on to a certain lifestyle, to a certain way of life that because you think it, because you've learned it, because you're used to it, but energetically you're not living. I mean, I don't know where this journey is going to take me, but I don't mind. I wanted to share one more story with you. So I've been following a lot of tarot cards, like readings, like just for synchronicity. Like, sometimes I see a message and I read it, and I tune in if it's for me or not. And one of the people, they contacted me. They said, do you want a reading? I was like, what kind of reading do you do? Because I have cards at home also. What's the difference between you doing a reading for me and I doing a reading? And the person said, like, do you wanna have pay a donation? It's $50. I was like, no, thank you. I don't feel like a desire to do a reading. So the person said, Spirit is telling me very serious information right now. You need this reading. Your life could be in danger. You could die. And I was like, what the fuck is this? What the F is this? So I was like, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and no one can change that. Whatever is destined to happen will happen. You cannot change what is destined to happen, and you cannot do what is not meant to happen. And the person was like, but don't worry. If you follow my instructions, nothing's gonna happen. And I'm like, I trust in God. If God's plan is for me to die, I'm willing to surrender my life. I'm willing to die, because when you're in this world of spirituality, when you're in this world of letting go of attachments, letting go of illusions, you realize there's nothing to hold on to that is worth holding on to in the end, because everything has an expiration date. Everything has a point of where you have to use so much energy to keep whatever it is you want to keep extracting your happiness from, because you're always using things to extract your happiness from people, places, events, whatever. You're trying to extract happiness from it, but and to try to manage that, to keep that afloat, you have to give so much energy, and you realize it's all going nowhere. It's just survival. And when you go into these layers of beliefs, and you let go more and more and more, you realize truly life, being alive, is most beautiful when you're just excited to have a ride, to see what's gonna happen, not to control, not to manage, not to, not to make some kind of construct out of it, which needs to stay. I mean, you can make a construct, but it's like, where are you coming from? Are you coming from need, from attachment, from a lack? Or are you coming from joy, from creativity, from a sincere wish from your heart to do something or to express something? It's like, wherever you're coming from, it will influence what you're creating. It will influence your experience of it. It will influence whatever it is being created. So yeah, after that, the person just said, oh, okay, I understand. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people, and I saw it once on TV, that there were people who called like these mediums, and then they watched a program they called, and they told them, yeah, if you want your curse or your bad luck to end, you need to send this amount of money for me to do a cleansing. And they were sending so much money, and I mean, it's so sad that people do that, because they're making people really scared, and they're making them live with fear and and just like a dreadful life, a fear to lose life, and it's so unnecessary. So yeah, that experience was truly unexpected. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I have 2 more recordings to record, but I won't do it today. Do it another day. Yeah, a lot of shifting, a lot is happening in my relationships. I noticed that I become reserved. I would say reserved, but I also become more myself, because I realize I am who I am. I don't need to play pretend. I don't need to act pretend. I don't need to dance to the tunes of other people, because I know, why would I do that? Why would I not behave how I really am in an attempt to seduce them to be with me, seduce them to stay with me? I mean, eventually I realize it's all about allowing everything to be, allowing this to be, and that to be, and that experience to be. It's like you have to go through everything, because you have to experience everything. The more you push away, the more you create a tension around your life, about your happiness, about your sense of control, and the more you feel out of control whenever the slightest thing happen. Yeah, like, I'm really grateful for meeting these people today. There's a lot of love there, a lot of good intention there, and the energy is really, really conducive, like for my growth. When I say growth, what do I mean by that? I mean, it's whenever I go there, I feel motivated to work on my patterns, because the more I come back, the more that I see I'm changing. I'm not changing. My personality is changing. My patterns are changing. My energy is changing. My preferences are changing. My desires are changing. My expression is changing. Everything's changing. And when you experience that change, you feel such a great gratitude for being able to live your life on your own terms, authentically. No one can give you that. It can only come from your core if you remove the crap, or if the crap is removed for you. So yeah, thank you so much. Stay well, everybody.